Hey, what's going on, guys? It's VenomousFatman here again. I'm here on the BITT, the boys in the tube. I'm sitting down with Richie Branson, Otaku music artist, cool dude, loves anime, loves games. So before the last part, if you have not checked it out, please do check out part one. We talked about his origins into music, into gaming, into anime. So now we're going to get much more in depth with the whole anime scene. We're going to talk about Toonami and such. So, Richie, let's start this one off like this, okay? Because not too long ago, Toonami came back. It was gone for a good minute, more than a minute, like years almost, and everybody missed it. So you did a song called Bring Toonami Back. So what was kind of like the mindset going in and actually making that song? Or what was like, your inspiration specifically for making that song?
Well, the main thing, I had just dropped the Gundam Wing mixtape, the Wing Zero EP, March 20th. So 10 days later, my phone, my Twitter, my Facebook, everything's blowing up, and people are saying, "Yo, Richie, Gundam Wing is on TV," and I was like, "Oh man, all right." So I went ahead and checked it out, and I think that really was like a mind-blowing moment for me because I'm seeing Gundam Wing on TV. I just dropped the Gundam Wing mixtape, so I'm already in that state of mind. And it's like, yo, to see Toonami back on and see Gundam Wing on was just incredible. And keep in mind, I didn't know that it was an April Fool's joke at the time, so I'm like, oh shit, it's back, yes. Well, the next day it was an April Fool's joke, and Adult Swim was like, yeah, if you want to see us bring Toonami back, tweet us about it. Let's see what's up. So what I ended up doing at that point is I immediately pinned the Bring Toonami Back record. I hadn't released it at the time though, but I pinned it and I made the beat for it, but I hadn't recorded it or released it. I really was going to do that at a later point and just had it on standby basically. But as I was in the middle of my Otaku Tuesday series, people kept hitting me up like, "Yo, Rich, you got to drop that Toonami record." Because I put on Twitter, "Yo, I wrote a Toonami record. Who wants to hear it?"
Yeah.
So people hit me up, yo, Rich, you do that Toonami record. So I think the fourth weekend of Otaku Tuesdays, I was like, all right, I got you. Let me go ahead and make that happen. So I released it, a Tuesday morning on Otaku Tuesdays. By the afternoon, Adult Swim had tweeted about it. Like, it made so much noise. Adult Swim was like, yo, let's go. And they tweeted about it. And by that evening, they had, I guess they had actually gotten in contact with me by then. So they wanted to use it for some bumps. I didn't know it was going to be uh, revolving around them actually bringing it back. I just thought they thought it was cool when they wanted to air it. So I was like, cool. So the next week when they actually announced Toonami was coming back, it was like, man, that was the greatest moment I'd say
Blew
in my
your
music.
mind, right?
Yeah, completely mind blowing, man. I was floored.
That's cool. I mean, what does it kind of feel like that, pretty much every Saturday night, everybody's going to be listening to your record right at the beginning of one of your favorite, television blocks, or in a lot of other people's favorite television blocks of all time for the most part.
Man, that was crazy. Like just to see it, like I remember seeing the intro and like I went crazy. Like I just got off the show I did in Houston. I was in the hotel room, watching Toonami. And as soon as the intro came and it was, I hear the beat and then I hear me rapping, I'm like, it was just a very humbling experience, very honored. And it was just like I never would have imagined, I never would have imagined years ago when I was watching Toonami that I would actually have some sort of hand in the actual music part of it. So it was great, very great.
Do you think, at any point, maybe down the line, after Toonami's been on the air for quite a while, you would probably do another track based on Toonami or something involving Toonami itself?
Oh, there may. I'm working on some things. I can't really talk too much about it right now, but there may be some more Richie Branson music, that you'll be able to hear revolving around Toonami. That's all I'll be able to say about that. So stay tuned. Fingers crossed, some good things might be in the works revolving around Toonami. So I'm excited.
Sounds very exciting. Sounds very, very cool. Now, speaking of anime specifically, I mean, you mentioned the Gundam Wing album, which was what was it, Gundam Wing EP, if I'm pronouncing it right?
Yeah, Wing Zero EP.
Wing Zero EP, okay. And then there was also, your Otaku Tuesdays. You actually did a collection of them, of the different songs you did. You had Outlaw Star, a song based on that, a song based on Gurren Lagann, Cowboy Bebop, what is it, Initial D, all these different animes that you love. You did tracks for them, and they all sounded great, by the way. I got the entire all those downloaded on my iTunes right now. But what I want to know is like, when you're actually going in or you're deciding what to actually make your next track based on whichever anime or property that you're going to do, like what's the process that you go through in order to decide and then eventually creating it?
Kind of check Twitter and I check my email and see what people are talking about. Most of the animes I do, well, the first few I actually just did off of stuff I've seen. The Gurren Lagann, the good thing about that, that was actually like a fan requested one. Like people were telling me, look at Gurren Lagann. I had never seen it before, so I sat down, devoted a week to watching Gurren Lagann, and it turned out to be one of the best animes I've ever seen in my life. Like I love Gurren Lagann. So that was definitely a fan driven request. Of course, with the Toonami record, that was also one. Outlaw Star was kind of a mix because I seen that. That's one of my favorite animes. So I was definitely all for doing the Outlaw Star rap as well. And so it's kind of a mix. I go in between what I've seen versus what the fans requested. Most of the fan requests are animes that I have seen, so it makes it that much easier for me, I guess you can say. But I've taken time to start watching at least, or been watching anime that a lot of fans had recommended that I'd never seen before. So it's a good experience. I'm getting to see great anime that I may not have seen before, but at the same time, I'm getting to rap about things that classics that I've liked for years, and just really sort of combine both aspects. Like the Space Cowboy Serenade was the first one, and that was just obvious. That's Cowboy Bebop's definitely one of my favorite anime of all time. So, it was a pleasure to do that one, and that sort of just set the ball rolling. Everything else was just clockwork from there.
Sounds cool. No, quick pro tip or a quick, suggestion if you're looking for even more good anime to watch Evangelion, and also watch Great Teacher Onizuka. I'm pretty sure you probably, if you love Gurren Lagann, you would get a kick out of those. You get a really
Yeah,
really cool kick out of them.
actually, a pretty decent amount of that. Neon Genesis. Haven't seen the other one though. I
Oh,
have to check that.
great great teacher Onizuka. It's about a biker that becomes an actual teacher in a school. There's a lot of comedy and stuff. It's really 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 fun. But moving on from there though. Okay, so pretty much, what is it exactly specifically like when you're not listening to suggestions from fans or you're not looking at stuff you've already seen before? What is it exactly that you look for in an anime when you decide like, okay, this show is awesome or this is what I want to watch?
Well, it's gotta have some identifiable theme that I can relate to. Like the initial D rap, like sort of the theme of that was, I'm driving a beat up car and all these people underestimate me, but it doesn't matter what you drive, it's how you drive it. So that's kind of the theme I carried through that. Gurren Lagann obviously had the whole, from the underground to the stars type of mentality of, we're oppressed, but we're working our way up and we're not going to give up no matter what. The Cowboy Bebop rap, it was more about, the one of the underlying themes I caught from Cowboy Bebop was the bounty hunting lifestyle. It seems glamorous, but it's rough. It's a day-to-day struggle just to put food on the table. And when you're looking at all the action and stuff, it's a necessity. It has to be done, just to eat. And really every anime that I've rapped about, it's always had some underlying theme that I just instantly appeals to me. And so a lot of the anime that I'm going to be rapping about when I return Otaku Tuesdays and I do the second set of songs is going to continue that trend.
All right, cool. Now, with being an anime fan, obviously, for most people out there, if you're an anime fan or a fan of anything involving pop culture or otaku culture, you're gonna go to conventions. You know what I mean? You're gonna try to meet up and connect with other people that are of similar interest to you. So let me ask you, have you been to a convention or how many conventions you've been to, or what was your favorite convention that you ever been to?
I've been to a few actually. I went to a MizumiCon here in San Antonio not too long ago, and I just recently went to Comic Palooza in Houston. I actually performed at one of the after parties there. by Space City Nerd, I think was the group that drew that. It was pretty nice, really nice, good experience. But those were the ones I've went to very recently. Beyond that, I've just been more of a in my living room watching anime type of fan. But recently, I've been becoming a lot more social with my anime and video game fandom. Of course, that's going to be a necessity now that I rap about it. So, but the Comic Palooza was a great experience. Actually, I took a lot of pictures of the cosplay, and definitely need to put those up on the website. But it's a great experience. I like the cosplay a lot. Especially the ladies.
Oh, of course. I mean, the cool thing about being an otaku or being part of like this whole culture is that you get to look at a lot of like cool and interesting things that you never expected. Like, aside from the beautiful women dressed up as their favorite comic and game characters, to like the dude that's like so good with his hands, he creates like an R2 unit, out of just random stuff and they, can move and control. There's some pretty interesting stuff. Have you ever seen something that maybe like a fan actually created for you or like you saw at like one of the conventions that you went to that just made you go like, wow, I can't believe I'm part of like something that actually spawned something like this?
Well, I think the greatest thing I saw during a convention was these paper mache Star Wars characters. Man, it was pretty cool. I saw paper mache Darth Vader. It was pretty awesome. Aside from that, I saw a really, 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 really good cosplay of Poison Ivy. Like incredible. Oh man, very cool. And one of the cats who he does clothing. He goes by the name, or his clothing line called 180 Ronin. He made some cool Toonami Back shirts that I'll be wearing before. And I just got a couple in the mail. So it's been a lot of things, man. I love the whole, the the dedication that goes into a lot of things that anime fans do is definitely worthy of note. I saw a 7 foot tall Predator, man. This guy must have been an ex NBA player. I don't know, man, but this guy was cosplaying Predator like to the T. Dude was 7 feet tall. I was like, yo, it was crazy. Looked just like the real thing, man.
That sounds pretty awesome. Now, obviously, number one, we got to get you out down here to some of the conventions here in Florida because you would get a huge kick out of them with all the cool stuff we got going on. But one question I think that every anime should be asked, an anime fan should be asked, is if there was a character or one particular character that you could cosplay as, who would you be and why would you do it?
Well, I'm pretty limited with characters. But if I had to say any particular character, it would probably be Eddie Gordo from Tekken. That was my favorite fighting game character of all time. Probably cheapest, but definitely
Cheese, that's what it is with Eddie Gordo.
Eddie Gordo. Or, if not Eddie Gordo, I was thinking about cosplaying somebody. I was just thinking about it the other day. Lucky Globber from the it's on the tip of my tongue, from the King of Fighters series.
KOF, yeah.
Yeah, KOF, the guy on the basketball, man. He was pretty cool.
All right, sounds so dope, man. So that's the end of part two, guys. We're gonna come right back with part three. We're gonna talk some more game stuff oriented things around there. So be sure to check out part three, guys, as I continue to sit down with Richie Branson. Talk to y'all in a minute.